Check. Coming to you live, Memphis, Tennessee. How you feeling? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Check.
Hey y'all, welcome back.
Hey, welcome back to Irresponsibly
Responsible
with Kenyona
and Kaiah
or Kai.
and Ken.
Yay! We didn't even have to practice that, okay?
I forgot we was gonna do that, so I'm glad my brain remembered because I was gonna mess us up again.
You're smart. You're smart, girl. All right, so we're back. Second episode. And we're recording this time, so hey to the people on YouTube. They can see our chocolate faces.
Yes. In a new space this time.
Yeah, let's not even get into that. That's the irresponsible part of us. Not solidifying the space, but it don't matter. We're just having fun.
It would look good actually. It surprisingly worked out. We like casual, but it feels good.
Yeah. Well, I guess we have a couple things we wanted to talk about. First, we gotta, you know, people be like good news or bad news first. We gotta start off with the bad news.
Okay. Starting off with the bad news.
The bad news.
Oh man. Oh.
What's his real name? It was on the tip of my tongue.
We lost a legend this week. We lost somebody that got us through middle school and high school. We lost somebody that will be missed dearly.
Dequantes, Devontae Lamar, better known as
Rich Homie Quan.
moment of silence. Okay. Yesterday, I said, hey, Alexa, can you play Rich Homie Quan? And you know the first song she played?
Walk through.
Yes. Mind you, the Apple Music is connected to Dylan's Apple Music. So I'm like, I did not expect her to play that. But I was like, Drace, I'm trying to show you, your heritage. You know what I'm saying? And I had to explain to Dylan that I wanted to walk to that song during my Sweet 16. And my mom was like, no.
No, I remember your dad. He was like, that ain't no song you walk to.
And my parents, it's okay though. What did I walk to? We don't even get into that. Iggy Azalea. I had a mini fashion show. But let's get back to the point. Rich Homie Quan.
R.I.P. It was really sad to hear about his passing. Actually, my boyfriend texted me, and then Kenyona texted me. So I think people knew it was going to really affect the community. But it was so sad to hear the story around it and how he passed. And
Yeah, Dylan walked in. He was like, Rich Homie Quan did. I was like, you know how people just be saying random celebrities be dying?
Making
I'm
up
like,
stuff.
nah, he not. He said, nah, he had overdose. I'm like, dang. Or a bad pill. I'm like, whoa. And, drug addiction, drug abuse is a real thing. And so, honestly, it just needs to be more aware in our community. I feel like people leisurely take drugs to get on a flight, to take a class, to take a test, to do this. And then when it comes down to something like that happening, and it's like, they were trying to blame it on his girlfriend or whatever, talking about she didn't look for him on the couch. If the boy's sitting on the couch sleep,
even your house, you're not thinking harm gonna come to you.
She's like, I had to put a blanket over him. He tired. He works. You know what I'm saying? But this is very unfortunate. He has sons. He just have a life. And I mean, he been in our heart, just period. Not even just because he died. Like, we was Rich Homie Quan fans. You know what I'm saying? I feel like every once in a while, I'm like, where is Rich Homie Quan? Dylan would be like, I don't know. And I'm like, I know you don't know, but where is he?
Yeah, that's true.
But rest in power.
Rest in power.
Dequantes. What's his real name?
I did not know that.
Quan.
I don't even call him Rich Homie Quan. I just be like, Rich Homie.
Homie.
Rich Homie, and you know who it is.
My event hustler. I was singing everything to Drace. I'm like, let me show you. He was like, he was kicking the legs.
For the paper. Okay. Now that's emotional.
It is. How do you even talk about death sometimes? I don't see how people just like devote a whole podcast or something to it. It's kind of hard to talk about, especially when you don't know people. It's like we're just talking in a fan sense.
Yeah. just in a sense of how much of an impact he had.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he was as young as he was.
Yeah.
I definitely thought, I don't know, I guess when you're younger, you think everybody is
He's
so much
old.
older.
Yeah.
But like less than 10 years older than us, it's like nothing.
Yeah, it's nothing.
So young, so much life.
Like, we 4 years from 40. I mean, 40.
Baby.
30. Sorry, guys.
This is a podcast for them 20-somethings.
Yeah. And we barely hanging on to our 20-somethings. No, we are. But
All right.
more power to his family, prayers, all those things.
All right, now that we've gotten those sentiments out of the way,
I know.
what are we talking about today?
Rich Homie on the podcast cover. It's only right.
Yeah, we should dedicate the next
Then
cover
people
to
gonna
him.
try to watch because they think we not like.
It's just in remembrance. It's a
Yeah.
dedication, just uplifting his spirit, showing how much he impacted youth and young black people in America.
Yeah.
Even through his rap music.
Yeah. You know, that makes me think about like the 2000s or late 2010s, music.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that was impactful in our lives. We was probably a little too young to be listening to some stuff.
We were in a very impressionable part of our lives.
Yeah.
Like middle school through high school. So it's like you kind of growing up a little bit. So you listening to stuff you're not really supposed to listen to, but now it's nostalgic.
And we knew right from wrong. And I'm saying that now because I feel like this generation may not know right from wrong for sometimes, but compared to what we were listening to when people that were doing crazy things, like people, like he talked about his drug addiction and all these things, and we didn't think, oh, let me go be like that. But it's just like, oh, this music is filling my soul.
We can speak for ourselves, but we can't
That's
speak for everybody our age, because we definitely still know some people, you know, that may have taken it more literal than us.
Been more impressionable.
Yeah.
That's true. And that's their lives. That's their journeys. I was just thinking about like what music meant to us, because I think that's what hit home for so many people. It's like, oh snap, like he my childhood. That's middle school. I remember going to school, getting dressed, parties. Like, yeah, that's rough. We shouldn't die young, honestly. We should be living old like Frankie Beverly. Rest in peace.
Yeah, rest in peace to Frankie Beverly. Rest in peace to James Earl Jones.
Yes.
Black men deserve to grow old.
Yes.
And, you know, we are grateful for Frankie Beverly and James Earl Jones. They were able to live to an old age and grow
Pioneers,
families.
yeah.
And it's unfortunate that Rich Homie Quan wasn't, you know, granted the same opportunity. But
He did a lot
yeah.
in his time here. Okay.
I know we swayed out and swayed back in.
I know, that was my fault.
No, it's on your heart.
Yeah. You know, you just like, I don't know how to end that. Such sentimental things. Okay. I did know, well, you got some exciting news.
Okay.
If you have exciting news.
I
Or
have
we can
exciting
save
news.
it. We can save it. If you want to save it. It's up to you. Give as much as you want to give.
Okay, I have exciting news. I bought a townhouse this week. Trying to celebrate that. As I was telling you earlier, it was a very hard process. And because of the hard process, it's been hard to be excited about it. Because I'm just thinking about, okay, on to the next step. We made it through that. Thank you, Lord. Let's keep moving.
Yeah.
But I'm going to try like this week, over the next week, to be excited about it and get stuff done at the same time. But yeah, that's really exciting. I don't want to make it minuscule, because it's not a
At
small
all.
thing at all. It's actually a pretty big feat.
Are you the first in your family?
I'm not the first person in my family. I guess my immediate family.
Yeah.
And maybe, well, on my mom's side, I think I'm the first person to own a home. And not on my dad's side, but yeah, on my mom's side. So it's kind of cool.
Congratulations.
Or maybe the first woman. Whatever it is, it's a first. It's something exciting.
It's a feat.
It's a feat. It was hard. It was way harder than I thought it was going to be. And we kind of touched on a little bit on the last episode, but some stuff you cannot prepare for. And I am an over-preparer sometimes. Or I try to be as prepared as I can, do as much research as I can. But it was stuff that was coming up that I didn't even know they were going to ask for, verify, go get this, run around and touch your toes 5 times.
Jumper jacks right now.
Seriously?
What's my middle name?
No, for real. And I was like, and I didn't want to give up during it, but I was just thinking like, I see why people give up, or I see why people can't,
finish,
buy a home or finish it or get through these steps, because it's almost like so many hurdles to like purposely keep young people out, or like people with not a lot of money, or you need disposable income, really. And not really, you can make your way around it, but you can get discouraged by all of those hoops that you have to jump through. So I am excited about all of those hoops I made it through and the hurdles that I jumped over this week. And I signed the papers this week. And Justice was there to support me, because he definitely was a big support through this whole process.
Shout out to Justice.
Yeah, and he said it really encouraged him to take the next steps to see how he can go through the same process to buy a property.
That needs to be a segment, irresponsibly, responsibly, encouraging others. What have we encouraged you to do this week? But no, that is remarkable.
I was blindly encouraging him because I didn't know that until he said it. Yeah. So,
but that's usually how that happens. Like, we do things and people are like, I'm so inspired by what you did. Like, you did something so remarkable. And you're like, babe, I barely made it through that.
Yeah.
I guess that's a good topic. Congratulations again, though. Like, I feel like we need to insert some music. That'll be my homework to see if I can do that.
Kenyona been the tech girl, y'all. For real. Follow us on social media.
We just been having fun. We've been learning new skills.
No, it has been fun.
Yeah, that's what it's about. I think that's why we did it. We just want to have fun and also commit to what we said we was going to do, start a podcast. But okay, I wanted to say what you said about not feeling excited or feeling the emotions that you feel like you should feel during this time, because how many hurdles and Olympic trials you had to go through to get to this. Like, that's a common theme that I feel like us 20-somethings, us determined 20-somethings, because you have those lazy 20-somethings that, don't really care to do all those things right now. But, like, we are on a different path, I think. What do we do for ourselves to get us in that mojo to be like, hey, I'm excited. Like, even when it's like time to go on a trip, I'm not excited until I'm on the plane, past my gate, at my gate, on the flight, headed to the destination. If I have not gotten to that point, I'm not excited.
Yeah.
Because for some reason, I think it's not going to happen. Like, something can possibly cancel the trip, or it won't work out the way I want it to for some reason. But that's a separate thing, maybe. But this one, it's like, okay, we've gotten to such this feat. I love the word feat now that you use it in the caption the other day. I was like, ooh, that's just, I like that. Yeah. Like, why do we, it's like all of our emotions are used up.
That's true. Maybe we put too much anticipation. Sometimes we think like, once we make it to this, we'll be happy, or once we get to this point, we'll feel that excitement. And because we, determining our excitement on meeting a goal or meeting a milestone, that it just comes and goes. I'm not saying I know the answers on how to keep, self-motivating or self-exciting, but sometimes we thinking, once we meet this, then we'll feel it. And that's probably not the case, or I'm learning it's not the case. And now I want to learn the alternative to just be excited no matter what the outcome is.
Okay, so thinking about your experience over the last, what do you want to say, month or two?
Shoot,
what could have, okay, 3. That's not too bad, though. People take longer.
I mean,
not to discredit
your
experience.
No, I get what you're saying.
Great job. You did it, though. Like, you stuck through it. What do you, looking back, like, what do you think you could have done differently? Sounds like, oh, I did something wrong, but, like, what could you do next time to help yourself be emotionally present?
Oh, dang, you said emotionally present.
Because I think that
no, that's good, because I was about to think of, like, a logistical preparation. So now that you said emotional, logistically, I'd be like, save more money. Yeah. Emotionally.
Dang, dude, so we put emotion, no, seriously, so we put emotion into money. Because when somebody say, oh, you need more money, you like, oh, shoot, this is going downhill because now it's extra stress and I'm losing my focus on, like, grasping, closing on this house.
Yeah, it probably is an emotional tie to money. Because then it's like a mental tie of like, okay, that means stressing over work because work is what makes you the money and the money is what you need to reach your goal.
And you're trying to be responsible.
Trying to be responsible. But I don't know, emotionally, I guess detach money and emotions or money and happiness or whatever. Or money and contentness. Like, I don't know. Kind of find a way to separate the two.
But you think that we already do because we understand we have to budget. We have to pay our bills. We have things that we want to achieve. But when those moments come, like if I was to get robbed today, okay, yeah, I got my life. But if you took all my money out of my bank account, I'm not going to say I won't be sad. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to be like, I'm fine. It's just material. Like, no, I have to pay bills. You know what I'm saying? Like, everything ties together and it's messing up a chain.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what does that look like to take emotion? I mean, maybe that's a different scenario.
It's not really. I don't know. I guess you got to have faith.
Yeah.
And not like on a funny note, but like
No,
on a
really.
real note.
Yeah.
Because when you don't have the answers to nothing else, you just got to be like, it's above me. It's out of my control. And it's not easy to say that, but some days it's like, okay, I can either sit up and stress about it, raise my blood pressure. I still got to go to this job every day anyway. So I'm either going to be mad at the job or I can try to just relax and put it above me and go through my day. Now, that don't mean I'm about to, like, blow it all and be irresponsible.
Yeah.
But I am just going to let certain stuff go.
Let
You
it
can't
go.
stress or worry about it sometimes.
Yeah. I think that's good, having faith. And maybe coming into the situation, okay, because maybe that's the irresponsibly responsible part of this, right? Like, okay, we both have been in the home buying process, and you're going into it because you want your own space. You want to invest, right? Like, initially investment, one, own space. You don't want to pay rent to anyone. You want to be able to, this is making sense. Like, I'm paying for something on my own. But we don't consider all the other factors of you're going to have more money. This is going to take a lot of time. You could possibly get outbid. This could happen.
Yeah.
And then so when all of those things happen, it's like, oh, I'm defeated. Not saying that's you or not saying that's me. It's just in a situation like I'm defeated because this didn't turn out the way that I wanted it to. Or this small obstacle or big obstacle came that I wasn't prepared for. And I know you talked about preparation last time.
Yeah. Well, even with all that being said, I guess because I knew that was the goal I wanted to reach, yes, it was hard, but I had made my mind up on it. So I almost, well, I guess I still had faith because in the back of my mind, it wasn't like this got too hard to where I was about to give up. I still had a little bit more to give. But I was...
You had a lot to give if you got through it.
I had a lot more to give than I thought I had.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I don't know how much more I'm going to be able to take this. But I was like, I guess I'm just going to keep going to see. So I guess that wasn't too bad that I didn't have the give up mindset quite yet. But I definitely had the frustrated mindset. But now I'm like, should I have just gave up? Not really, but I want to feel that excitement about it. And I know that's what we're talking about, but I can't force it. Hopefully the excitement comes over time, or I can find the excitement in the mundane of what I still have to continue to do.
Yeah, like you don't want to fake. You don't want to fake it. Because I was like, why didn't we celebrate? And you're like, I just wasn't. I'm done. You know, I happened. I checked it and it's done. That's all you wanted to do at that moment.
I was like, by the way, I closed Monday.
Yeah,
was like
it's
Monday.
Y'all, it's Friday. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days ago, she did that. She ain't text, call, do nothing. She probably said something about the podcast more than she said something about her clothing. Because, you know, I text you and I was like, what's going on with the house? And you ain't text me back about it, but I said, I ain't going to stress her because maybe she's stressed. And I don't want to be extra stressor.
I have been stressed. But I think it's going to come around. Because, like, this podcast, I was a little stressed a little bit. But now I'm like, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to this. That's why I responded to you about the podcast and not the house.
I know you did that intentionally. That's why I said, let me pick up a little bit more slack on them. Like, okay, I figure out this little Apple thing and the Spotify so you can
No,
focus.
you
And
really
you are
did.
working. I'm at home.
No, you
Baby and
working.
stuff. I am working, but
You
I have a
working
little
hard.
more access to do things. But I still don't think we came to an answer, which I don't even think exists, about emotions other than, like you said, having faith. Maybe
Okay.
preparation. Maybe you have to reflect. Maybe there's reflection points in
That
in those cycles.
No, I think that's really good. Reflection points, but also during this process, because I was stressed, I didn't do things that I knew would alleviate my stress. Like, I haven't been to yoga in a few months, and I'm a big yogi. Like, I'll go to yoga multiple days a week, even if it's 5 o'clock in the morning or 7 o'clock at night, because I'm like, oh, after I did do that, I feel like I got a little bit more to give.
Yeah.
But because I was busy, I'm like, oh, I'm so busy, I can't do this. But maybe I should have been like, I'm so busy, I need to do this.
Something to keep that emotion up,
Yeah.
like the happiness, relaxed part. Because we do end up giving our all to things that we want to accomplish, like full head on. That it's like, oh, okay, I don't have time for that. That's important. That's deep. That's deep, y'all. That's the segment. That's deep. That's cliche. That's ugly, Kenyona.
Deep.
That's making me think, though. I'm like having a reflection moment.
We reflecting in real time.
Oh, I am. I've been thinking, like, okay, I'm working out because I want my little body back or whatever, but my mobility's not the same. And I said to myself, you need to do yoga. And then I'll have to put a reminder on my phone. I'm like, no, like, why am I sitting here stressing about, we were just talking about this, cleaning the kitchen and folding clothes when I need to be putting my body as a priority and like my health and relaxation. And so I'm reflecting right now about that.
And those are the things that keep us fueled up, even though we think of it as extracurricular. But you giving your body that time or your mind that time is probably the fuel that you need to show up how you need to as a mother, as a home taker, as a wife, and whatever else. But it's hard.
It is.
Because, baby, I know plenty of times I done press snooze on the alarm.
Completed. Mark this completed. Did not do it.
Not at all. And it's like, oh, but I didn't have the time. I didn't have the space. I got to clean up the front floor so I can stretch out. Like, oh, I didn't vacuum today. Oh,
Yeah. I need to do this instead. This is more important. This is more urgent. Because that does become a thing. Every day is something new that you forget you have to do or something comes up. And so I lose track of, like, what I need to be done. I'm like, no, you need to make a routine. You get up, you do your stretches. You brush your teeth. You wash your face. You take a shower. Because if the baby's crying, I'm like, I'm coming to get him. Because I just think that it's the end of the world. And I'm like, no, take time to take care of yourself first and then do that. I'm forcing myself. It was hard at first, but that's one step I'm taking. But I need to fit the stretching and stuff into it. Making a bed, I don't know, doing things like that.
small things that are really big things.
Okay, so we said having faith, preparation before going into something big, and being reflective in those experiences. I think that's good. And I mean, if you have somebody to check you or hold you accountable of their reflection or faith, that's even better.
That is true. That is true. And I'm going to have to always have that pessimistic side of things. But sometimes I
People
don't
do
want
the
to,
most.
I don't be wanting to bring people in or say too much because then I get opinions that, like, it's not that I just don't want to hear what somebody else got to say, but I don't think it's valuable sometimes, or I don't think it's taken into account, like, how I feel about something. And maybe I just don't. Maybe I just don't effectively express how I feel about something when I'm going in, like asking for advice or someone's opinion on a topic. But I would just rather not say things sometimes because I don't want to hear what you're going to say, or I don't think it's valuable. And maybe that's something I need to work on. If you know me, I'm a very kind person. But in the back of my mind, sometimes I'm like, I ain't trying to hear what you got to say. And maybe I'm judging somebody. Like, I got all the answers about everything that I need to know about myself.
And you do.
And
what about it?
And the answers are within. But
Period.
maybe I can create
Space.
a better... Yeah, I can create space with...
I'm a therapist today.
family or friends to, like, pour into me. And if I feel like they're not pouring into me or giving me what I need to hear, maybe express a little bit more clearly of what I'm looking for. I mean, I don't know if that's the answer, but
no, that's
it's somewhere
good.
along the lines.
I mean, because sometimes we put the ball in other people's part to give us something that we need. Like, if you're going to therapy, you know what you need. You're looking for somebody to talk to. You're looking for somebody to give you clarity or answers or homework on some things that you're working on. You want somebody to hear you. Like, you have a goal in therapy. You're not just going to therapy because it's just something to do. Hopefully not. So it's like, I learned that with Dylan. He'll be like, so what do you want me to do if we're in an argument? I'm like, hold on. I ain't never thought about that. So when we was in those first early arguments, he'd be like, so what do you want me to do? Like, how do you want me to change? And I'm like, I don't know. I just have a problem. And he's like, you see what I'm saying? I'm like, I see, but I don't, I ain't never said it. I was a little prideful. Like, boy, I don't know what I want you to do, whatever. But then I thought about it. I'm like, okay, if I'm coming to him, he needs to hear action items of like, okay, she wants me to do this instead, or we need to do this instead, blah, blah, blah. So it's like if you're coming to people for advice, if you know in your heart that I know what I want. I'm not looking for my opinion to change. Maybe I just need support. I think saying it to people sometimes is helpful if they're receptive. But that's hard to come by sometimes.
No, I'm glad you said that. And I'm on my phone because I went to like this talk the other day, and this lady was talking about conflict and like good conflict and how at the base of it it's like communication. And I feel like a lot of what we're talking about right now, whether it's friends and family or you communicating with your significant other, it's like how do we handle conflict, but also how do we communicate what we need? Because you like, I don't know what I need you to do, but I just feel that you need to do something.
Yeah.
But then maybe we also haven't worked on how to communicate or express, or talk to who we need to communicate with.
Yeah. Which is, if you're in our 20-somethings, that's a responsible thing to do and learn, I believe. Like, Dylan challenging me in that way made me, address our arguments and not even calling them arguments, tough conversations way better. And that way, when I have conversations with other people, even at work, I'm like, I know what I need you to do. Like, I'm coming into this with this is an action item. Like, I'm not just complaining. Like, this is a solution to a problem, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. We're sitting in our clubhouse, and so we just took a pause because the light went out. It still looks nice, actually, because it's raining and this light coming through the window. But yeah.
We'll keep this in the YouTube upload.
Yeah.
Audio may not get this.
Sorry, audio. But no, I think the conflict thing is important because I think all those things tie into your life.
Yeah.
And y'all may be asking, why are we talking about this? This is the responsible thing to do. Responsibility doesn't always lie in like money, family problems and things. It's like your personal health and capability and responses to people and learning and being reflective on it is responsible.
And y'all are getting the reflective side of us. We've already gone through the actions of the week.
Imagine we're like, I don't know. I'm going to give up. That would have been a good podcast. You giving up every week on the house. And then today you're like, it happened, you guys. Which that may happen if we're recording. We're like, hey, we almost gave up. Felt like I just couldn't take life anymore.
Amen.
You know that song?
No.
Dang, I thought you knew it.
No, I don't, but I liked it.
It's a gospel song.
I like those words. I've never heard this song a day in my life.
If you
but the words spoke to me, so.
Who was by? Couldn't tell you. But they say I almost.
There's a lot of gospel songs like that.
Yeah.
You would never know who it's by. But I did want to skip over High Conflict, Why We Get Trapped and How We Get Out. The author is Amanda Ripley or Ripley. But she has some really good.
Say it one more time.
High Conflict, Why We Get Trapped and How We Get Out. And she was just saying, conflict is healthy. It has to happen. It's just how you decide to execute it, communicate it, work through it. And I think that's a lot of what we try to reflect on. Now, I be having conflict, y'all. This ain't us saying we use all these tips and we don't got no conflict. No, we just saying how next time we gonna try to do things a little differently.
Yeah. That's good. How you get out of it. Okay, so we talked about Quan. We talked about closing. We talked about emotions. I guess we can do just a time check. I guess we can do our irresponsible thing of the week. I know yours because you just announced it, but you might have something more. You might have something more.
Let me look at my calendar.
And let me look at mine. Nothing on there. Let me think back through this week.
I know, if it's not on my calendar, did it really happen?
I know, right? I miss my calendar, though. Like, I will add the smallest things just to have some sanity. I'll be like, our niece's baseball game. And it's like, we won't forget. But I'm adding it to my calendar because I just miss adding things to my calendar.
Yes, you should.
My responsible thing is... I'm taking a test at the end of the month that I was taking before I went in labor. I can't say what it is because they technically say you're not supposed to say it, which is so dramatic. But just imagine they find this podcast one day. I don't know. But it's that something to do with my career and like a certification, basically. I take it at the end of the month. So I've been studying in between being a mommy. So that's responsible. Irresponsible.
You've been studying. You took some classes, right, leading up to it?
Oh, yeah, I took classes while I was pregnant.
Yeah, that's major.
I did a presentation. That was the first half, and I have to take a test, which is 3 hours long.
Ooh.
I know, right?
But
I'm
you
going to pass.
there.
Yeah, I'm going to pass. I ain't got no choice. I'm going to do it. I don't think I have an irresponsible thing.
Period, because you've been responsible.
Yeah. Look, we had a storm. We went and got things. We bought flashlights. I was like, we adults, we parents.
Yeah, I was ready.
Dylan was in the bed like, Drace, it may be loud tomorrow. There's going to be rain. I don't want you to be scared. He was like, What about you?
Okay. Yeah, y'all, not too much happened. The most responsible thing this week is
Not too much happened? You see how you doing yourself like that?
I closed on a house this week, on a townhouse, and that was really responsible. I was able to go get the keys. Oh, and I got utilities turned on in the same week. Child, and y'all. Okay.
Okay, don't do that. Don't go down that hole. Don't go down the bad path.
No, not a bad path. But this is a responsible and irresponsibly me from 2 years ago came back to bite me in the booty.
You can't pay for something?
Yeah, I had an account that went into collections with them. And I was going through a hard time. You know, I had lost my job. I wasn't prioritizing. Although, looking back, it was like $200. And I should have just paid it when I left. It went to collections, and I paid it 2 years ago also. But because it did, them connection fees, like $400.
Sheesh.
In addition to my first bill. So, I was responsible this week by buying a house, but irresponsible Kaiah from 2 years ago came back to me in 2024. And now I just have to reflect and, it's done now. Mm-hmm. But, I'm still excited. Mm-hmm. But just know your irresponsible moments may come back to
they time travel.
Man, they time travel. So just be prepared for it. Don't think the world against you. Just know you're not fighting
was against
demons.
yourself.
You're fighting yourself.
You're fighting yourself. Dang. Yeah. This is a reflective podcast. Because maybe you said 2 years.
Yeah.
400.
She was like, yes, you had something that went into collections. It doesn't matter if it's already paid. It's going to be $400. I was like, okay, so do I have to pay
that in one breath?
She did.
Mad.
I was like, do I have to pay that right now? She was like, no, it's going to be on your next bill.
Sheesh.
I'm like, oh, my goodness.
Compared to $20-something, you know that, right? That's how much it costs for them to connect that.
Well, she said it would have been $200.
Really?
Yeah, we learning about this stuff. I don't know. She could have told me anything, but we'll see when the bill comes.
At the same time, we in an apartment. You in the house. I don't know.
Oh.
And I really don't remember when we first got it. If it was that much, it probably was.
Gosh. I don't remember the first time that I got it connected in my apartment. What was the process? But I know what she told me yesterday. But it's done.
I don't mean to laugh at that.
See, I could have been responsible and told her what I thought on that phone.
Oh.
But I just said, why is it $400?
I'm going to start a fire.
Then Justice was on 3-way on mute.
You know he be turning up.
Man, he was texting me. He was like, she lying.
Emoji W workers. Emoji and robbers.
I don't know if she was lying or not, but we'll see in a month. But that was my responsible and irresponsible moment of this week. You were all responsible, and I can't wait for you to take your exam, ace it, and elevate in your career.
Period. Also go back to work.
Oh.
I'm going to just leave that there. Okay. Drops mic, not literally, but we'll see. I'll just say that. If you're tuning in for my job, we'll see. Because I'm enjoying loving my baby. But, okay. Oh, it's motion activated, the lights.
So we've moved.
Okay, then. Okay. Well, we can end with some words of encouragement, of course. I feel like that's good vibes. We need a guest on the next podcast.
We need a guest, and maybe we'll ask for some topic suggestions for the next one.
Yeah. We have a list that we did not even pull from today, but I think what we talked about was cool, actually. Yeah. It's unique and present for this moment. But what do you have to say, Miss Kai?
This was a good time. If you want to be a guest on the podcast, then you have to actually share a post from our Instagram and our Facebook.
Period.
Comment twice.
Email us. I'm just joking.
And have 3 of your followers to follow us.
This sounds like a giveaway. Anybody.
This if you want to be on here. I mean, we ain't nobody special, but
we got one little seat on this couch left. One person can fit. If it's a group of y'all, sorry. I'm just joking. But no, it would be fun to get more irresponsibly responsible people on the cast, on the pod. Words of encouragement. You know, it's raining. I feel like we've been looking out the window this whole time, which is really peaceful.
It's really peaceful out in front of us.
But you know, rain brings in new things, washes old things out. So just start your day, start your week, go to Sunday with a new start and new thoughts, being reflective, planning, pausing, talking to people about your emotions as your 20-something self. It's not easy, and it probably won't get any easier sometimes, but you got this.
Absolutely.
Alrighty, so see you next time on Irresponsibly
Responsible.
Bye.